Looks don't matter, but they do. I know that statement didn't really make much sense, so let me do a deeper dive on that comment. You see, looks do matter because there's a girl out there that likes the way you look. That's why you've had plenty of, sex, first dates, etc. But looks don't matter because of the way the black pill has made men think about looks. Now, if you're watching this video going, Chad, what the hell is a black pill? I thought there was blue and red. The black pill says looks is the only thing that matters in dating. You think I'm crazy? Check them out. They think looks is the main reason and the biggest outcome is the biggest factor to your outcome in dating, right? So guys are over here taking pictures of their face, sending it to another man so their face can get evaluated. Oh, bro, get some Botox here, make your chin more, slimmer. Like, it's crazy. It's almost like what women do, right? They're trying to beautify themselves like women. Guys, I'm sorry, looks is surface level. When you walk up to a girl, she may go, okay, he's attractive, but if your behaviors after that are unattractive, guess what? Now you're not attractive. So let's go on a deeper dive on today's video about how looks matter, but they don't. And it's actually your behaviors that get you bad results in dating. It's not your looks. Let's get it going. The first behavior I want to talk about is pedestalization. Now, guys, this goes deeper than what you think. I know simping, the definition of that is putting a woman on a pedestal, but guys do that more than what they think. If you look at a woman and go, she's hot, therefore I have to do more to get her, and then you look at a girl who's a 5 out of 10 and go, since she's average, I should do less, that's where you're getting it messed up. Why are you putting this more attractive girl on the pedestal? Why does this girl deserve roses and chocolates and a dinner on the first date, but this girl gets a happy hour? That's your problem, right? It's pedestalization, thinking that you have to do more to get this girl. You don't know her. Run the same game. I don't care if she's a 5 or a 10. Now, here's what happens. When guys go into the first date with this girl who they deem as a 9 or a 10, they may be seeking validation. So what makes a girl like you go out with a guy like me? Oh my gosh, I'm just curious, like, you're so attractive, why me? Like, why'd you choose me out of all your options, right? Or they start saying like, oh, like, do ever big celebrities DM you? Like, really? Wow, they do? That's crazy. Like, why would you be here with me? Right? You think I'm kidding, but this is what happens when guys who aren't used to getting attractive girls, right, date one, and the whole time they're putting her on a pedestal. She can feel this, and when they don't get a second date, it's like, oh, it's because of my looks. Oh, if I was Chad, if I was Tyrone, she would have been into it. No, that's not how this works. It's your behaviors. Speaking of behavior, there's a very popular YouTuber who's a black pill guy. I'm not gonna lie, guys, his videos are actually pretty good. I enjoy it. They're very well thought out. He brings out all the statistics. But what made him lose validity to me was he made a video talking about his personal life dating experiences where he met a girl, right? The date went fine. But then what happened was at the end of the date, he was like, hey, I'm interested in seeing you a second time, but only if you're serious. He gave this girl he just met an ultimatum. If you want to see me again, you have to be serious about this. And then once when I heard that, I'm like, that's it. There it is. It's his behavior. Guys, if this guy was so ugly and he said, oh, I'm not a Chad, I'm not a Tyrone, he wouldn't have gotten the first date in the first place. He got the first date, but he didn't get the third date. I'll talk more about the second date in a second. He didn't get the third date because of his behavior. So on the second date, he sits down with the girl. He's talking to her. Then the girl says, you know what? I have second thoughts about this. I'm not sure why. Now, what a real G would do is, okay, yeah, no worries. I'll talk to you later. He went full-blown interview mode and said, well, why don't you see this going further? Is it because of my looks? Is it because I'm not attractive enough? All that YouTuber guy was doing was validating why she doesn't like him. If I'm with an attractive girl and she starts interviewing me after I told her I'm not interested in her, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't choose this girl. This girl's insecure. She's asking me for a full-blown Oprah Winfrey interview after I told her I wasn't interested. If she was secure within herself, she would have said, okay, yeah, bye. No explanation, right? So guys, it's not always your looks, it's your behavior. The next behavior that men will do is show insecurity in the early stages of dating. So let's just say you get a girl's number from a dating app, or you got it in person, then you start texting her, right? And let's just say you've been texting her, she hasn't responded yet, but she's posting Instagram stories. You start saying, oh wow, like you're ignoring me. You think I'm kidding, but this is how a lot of guys are when they're dating girls. And when the girl sees that, she's like, ew, you're not my boyfriend. I don't owe you anything. And then when that girl decides to ghost, the guy's like, see, my looks. If I was Chad or Tyrone, she wouldn't have ghosted me. Or even further, let's just say that girl who's not your girlfriend posts a pretty provocative photo of her going out with her girlfriends in like a skimpier dress. You comment, wow, LOL, you're gonna wear that? All that's gonna do is turn her off. Because you guys aren't dating. You shouldn't be worried about this girl. You should have other things going on. Why do you care? I think one of the biggest downfalls of guys is caring too much about a girl who doesn't really care about you. And then when it doesn't work out, you scream looks. I swear if I was Chad or Tyrone, this would have worked out. No, it's because you're showing her insecurity so early on. Relax. If anything, she posted that photo to see if she would get a reaction out of you, and her getting a reaction out of you is all she wanted. Your best bet is to view the story and don't say anything. Trust and believe. Before I move on to the next topic, I want you guys to have your behavior in an alignment. If you see yourself as a 4 out of 10 and your behavior is like a guy who's a 4 out of 10, you're screwed. I don't care what you think you are, your behavior has to be of a man who's a Chad or a Tyrone, who has options and who has an amazing dating life. Because if your behavior matches the way you see yourself, and say it's on the lower end, you're always gonna turn girls off. You're always gonna be questioning girls as to why they chose you. You're always gonna be insecure about maybe your skin color or your height. But if you see yourself as that guy and your behavior is in alignment with that, you're always gonna be attractive to women because you're not acting like a loser. Guys who hate themselves when they look in the mirror, their behavior aligns with that. If a girl flakes on a first date, oh, because of my looks. If a guy doesn't get a second date, oh, because of my looks. So if you think you're that guy, your behavior has to be in alignment to where you stop blaming yourself for everything. And just go, hey, she wasn't interested, that's fine. Next. Oh, that girl didn't want to, this girl flaked. Doesn't matter to me. Next. Stop beating yourself up for looks and a bunch of other things. It's not that personal. It's not that deep. Have a better behavior. The second leg of this whole behavior thing is SMV. So this is a bit of red pill and black pill. SMV stands for sexual market value, okay? And what happens is guys will take their looks, their status, their money, their physique maybe, I don't know, and put them all into this calculator and it spits out a number. Guys, that number is fluid. The reason why I said that number is fluid is because just because the SMV calculator said you were a 5 out of 10, that doesn't mean you can't bag a girl who's an 8 or a 9. It doesn't mean that, because attraction is not linear. It's not one way. It's fluid. It goes back and forth. For example, if you see yourself as a 5 out of 10 and you see a girl that you deem as a 9 out of 10, you may go, well, my SMV is a 5. Hers is a 9. Therefore, this isn't going to work. But what if that girl who's a 9 sees you and thinks you're an 8 or a 9 as well? But guess what? You'll never know because your behavior is a guy who thinks he's a 5, right? So that's what I mean with this whole looks thing. It's not looks, it's your behavior. Because if you thought you were that guy, right? You would approach that girl that you deem as very attractive. But since you have the behavior of a guy that thinks he's a 5, you don't even look the 9 or 10's way. You just go to the most average looking girl in the bar after 5 shots of vodka to help ease the nerves because that's what you think you deserve. No, bro, you deserve what you think you can get. If I think I can get a girl who's very attractive, that's what I'm going to go for, right? So it all comes down to a behavior. If you think this SMV score thing is factual and it's only one way, it's not. A girl may see a guy and go, wow, he's in good shape. He has nice skin. Yeah, he may not be the richest guy in town, but I like him. I'm going to give him a shot. But you see that girl and don't even approach her because you think, well, my SMV's a 5, hers is an 8, therefore I can't have her. So a lot of this stuff comes down to a behavior, guys. That's why I'm going to keep reiterating it over and over throughout this video, because I want you to see it's not just a looks thing. It's how you behave, right? Listen, SMV, cool. It's dope to know where you stand, but most women don't look at it that way. Here's how I see it, guys. Back when I was driving my mom's minivan around town, then I got a Mazda, then I got a Kia. I've been very average income my whole life until last year. But guess what? I knew where I was going, so I carried myself like I was that guy. Now, mind you, a person may look at me and go, Chad, how do you think you're that guy when you make 50 or 60K a year, live with your mom, and have a shitty car? Well, my behavior was as if I was a 10 out of 10 because I didn't care about SMV. I saw myself as that guy, so I presented myself to very attractive women, and they were like, hey, this guy's behavior is as if he owns the place, so I like this guy. But versus the guy who's a Chad or a Tyrone, he may be like, well, she has to approach me, bro. I'm not going to approach her. Well, guess what? That guy didn't get the hot girl that night. I did. Why? Because I presented myself. My behavior is I'm that guy. I don't care about my SMV score being a 4 or 5. I think I deserve that attractive girl, therefore I'm going to go up to her. And when she's receptive and I get her number, I'm like, see, I knew it because I carried myself like my SMV score was a 10. I don't let a calculator score determine my value to society. I was driving a Kia Optima, making 40, 50K a year, thinking I was that dude. And guess what? I'm starting to be right about that because now I may have a 7-figure year next year. So you get me? You get what I'm putting down? And the last leg of behaviors is handsome man game. Guys, I would say handsome man game has exploded. If you go on YouTube right now, type in handsome man game, you will see mostly black dudes sitting in their car with their iPhone propped up on their lunch break talking about how I'm handsome and this is how you move as a handsome guy. Guys, I don't like this whole handsome man game thing because most men are not attractive enough to run it. I'm sorry. The only way handsome man game will be efficient is if you have girls approaching you at least 2 to 3 a day. If you are not getting hawked down by girls at the gym, at the bar, at the club, girls are not constantly coming up to you, why are you running in that type of game? And the reason why a lot of men are moving towards this handsome man game is because they're lazy. Guys, it takes work to go out to a nightclub, maybe approach 4 or 5 girls, and maybe one converts. Maybe. That's work. Sitting back with a drink to your chest and just having this mindset, man, these hoes, man, they're going to approach me. Guess what? One may approach you, but she's built like a refrigerator. Now what? You see what I'm saying? So the next thing with handsome man game is, guys, I'm going to be honest, most men are not handsome. Most guys are just average looking. Let's just keep it a buck. So you adopting this handsome man game ideology is BS. And most of the time, guys, when I go on TikTok and YouTube and I see, mostly TikTok, and I see handsome man game, it's coming from guys like DDG, Duke Dennis, right? Guys who have a massive social media following and they've been sexualized by their female fans. So it's really easy for them to talk about handsome man game. Super easy for them. Why? Their DMs are flooded. They have girls coming up to them in public with their boyfriend next to them. So of course those guys can run handsome man game. But when's the last time an attractive girl approached you? Exactly. So you believing that you are just this handsome guy and you shouldn't have to approach women, they should approach you. Listen, man, I can't tell you how to act. If that's how you want to run your game, bro. Do your thing. But if it's not working and you're not getting the girls you want, maybe assess your strategy. Guys, sorry to glaze. I'm 6'1". I'm in amazing shape. I have a good physique, cool hair, straight hairline, not balding yet, thank God, knock on wood. But do you think girls are in my DM? No. Are girls hawking me down on Instagram? No. When I go out to the gym and the club, are girls walking up to me? No. And I'm 6'1". I have good hair. I'm in good shape. So if I'm not getting hawked down by women and you're 5'7" watching this with a dad bod, why are you running handsome man game? Guys, listen. With dating, if you're not on the offense, the only way to kind of be lean back and chilling is if you don't care about getting a girlfriend, you don't care about having sex, and you just don't really care about putting in effort. Because if that's you, okay, play the handsome man game and just wait for the hot girl to approach you. You may be waiting for a while, but anyway, my point is, if you want to be successful in dating as a man, it's going to take shots. It may take five or 10 cold DMs a week, two, three approaches a week or more, going out on the weekends. Like, it's gonna take work if you want to have a consistent, good dating life. Or you can also double down on dating apps, taking good photos. That works too, right? But most men aren't crushing it on dating apps. There's like the stats say 20% of men crush it on dating apps, right? And of that 20%, how many of them are like, Tyrone or Chad, like the 6'3" jawline tattooed guys? Like, I'm just being honest, right? So the point of this video is to talk about how it's not your looks that's holding you back. It's the way you think about dating. For example, pedestalization. Oh, well, I'm a 5, she's a 10, I can't have her. That's a behavior. Oh, I'm gonna run handsome man game. I'm gonna let girls come to me. No, you're not running handsome man game, you're lazy. Like, you see what I'm saying, right? So a lot of times, the black pill may, say things like, oh, it's just looks. When if you peeled back the layers of a lot of these guys who subscribe heavily into it's just looks, you'll see it's just their behavior that's holding them back. Because if you look in the mirror and you hate what you see, you will never have a good dating life, because if anything ever goes wrong, looks. She flaked, looks. Not second date, looks. Like, oh, she didn't follow me back on Instagram, looks. Like, everything comes down to looks. And it makes sense to you. If you hate what you see, you're assuming that girl hates when she hates looking at you. But it comes down to so much more than just looks, guys. It comes down to your behavior. So if you're a guy who is heavily into red pill or heavily into black pill, and your ideologies have been really scrambled watching this video, you're like, damn, Chad, you're making some good points, man. If you're a career-driven guy, you have a lot of things going on in your life, but dating is just the last missing piece, bro, I want to help you out. I have an amazing 8-week program where me and you hop on a phone call every single week. I give you the mindsets to succeed. I hire you a photographer to come to your city and get high quality images of you so you can start crushing it online. I put you in a community of other like-minded men. You have access to me for 1 year. So if you have any questions on anything throughout, that 365 days, you get support. It's one of the best dating programs out there. And if you're interested in that, I have a link down below. And if you guys are still watching, I appreciate you. I love all you guys for watching my content and supporting me. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.